What is your craziest school story? Story 1. It was near the end of the school year and my English class was in the library doing our final writing assignment for middle school. Being a bunch of 8th graders, we pretty much did nothing and passed the class, just so the school could kick us out. I finished my paper super early. I knew the prompt because I liked and often talked to my teacher during his lunch breaks. I was playing random games through some unblocked site and all of a sudden this loud siren goes off. I see our old and frail librarian rush to the door and immediately lock them. Everyone is looking around and wondering what the fuck is going on. The siren just gets louder and louder. It sounded like the Silent Hill siren too, so I am practically shitting myself. Finally our principal comes on the loudspeaker and tells us that some kid has a BB gun in the school and to stay inside our classrooms. Everyone immediately goes back to what they were doing, and eventually the siren turns off. I get bored of fucking around on the computer and kind of glance out the windows of the library to look at the main hall and entryway into the school. I see our police officer guy hauling ass over to the other side of the building with just his shirt and underwear. I quickly usher everyone close to me over and we see the kid who brought the BB gun dart right out the front door with the officer's pants and his taser. Like 30 minutes later the lockdown ends and we all go to our next class. We do nothing the entire rest of the day as a video of our school cop running around with no pants on is sent to pretty much every phone. I may or may not have been involved. Story 2. This happened in a kindergarten class about 2 rooms away from mine, but I did not find out about it until I was in middle school. Mario was always a troublemaker. Suspension and expulsion were routine for him. All that said, I was very surprised to find out that 5-6-year-old Mario held his class hostage one day. He apparently repeatedly threatened his pregnant teacher that he was going to stab her in the stomach with pencils and scissors. Why exactly he did this I don't think anyone will ever know, but that story definitely sticks out in my mind. Story 3. Elementary school. We all get rounded up by the teachers, told we're going across the street to the local churches for practice. Once we get inside, the doors are locked, and we're told to keep away from the windows. We stay for an hour before the buses pick us up. Nobody talked about it or knew what it was about until someone brought it up again in high school, and we realized it was a bomb threat. Story 4. High school, freshman year anatomy course during dissections. Mid-80s, Fahrenheit, and humid, so the windows are open to cut down on the smell of formaldehyde. A girl I sorta knew, we became close later, walks by me with a dissected mud shark on a dissection tray on the way to dispose of it. I ask to see her shark, and suddenly have the idea to see how many parts of it I can throw out the window into the courtyard below before I am caught. The answer is, the entire shark. Story 5. I was a yo-yo enthusiast in 8th grade. It was going around like wildfire throughout all the students. I used to be able to throw the yo-yo really hard and make it come back, making it look like it was flying after you, but it would just come right back to me. As you can already tell, I did this to a lot of people. One of my classmates was standing in front of the teacher's desk when I did it, expecting to catch something last second and it comes right back. He leans on the teacher's desk and knocks everything over, including her computer and her fish tank. Tank didn't break, but fish died and we cleaned it before she came back into class. She never suspected it was us and she thought fish died of natural causes. Story 6. I stepped in dog poop during a fire drill. I didn't know what it was at first, so I used my hand to wipe it off. Now of course dog shit is all over my hand. So I go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and everything's good now. All of a sudden the principal comes on the loudspeaker and very angrily asks who put dog poop all over the bathroom. Now I didn't think I made that much of a mess. But anyway, I go tell the principal my story and it turns out someone came in the bathroom after me, picked up the tiny amount of dog poop that got on the floor, and smeared it all over the walls. Then he took his own shit on the floor, and smeared that on the walls too. Story 7. That day on 9/11/2001 was really weird. I was in the 8th grade, and we had different teachers for each subject, but the classes were the same. We just rotated with a few other classes so we had the same students in every class. Anyway, we knew something was off, because about 7 or 8 kids in our class were all called out before lunch, teachers telling them that their parents were there to pick them up. Not one of them knew why their parents were picking them up to take them home. We saw a couple teachers crying, including our history teacher. At lunch, it was practically empty. We were all sitting there wondering where everybody was and why everybody was being called out for. This was before cell phones and all of that, so we couldn't get any info of what was going on. We didn't find out until we came home that day. But yeah, that whole day was a weird day, having no idea what was going on less than 2 hours away from NYC. Story 8. My high school was right across the street from a shopping center that had a bank in it. An armed robber tried to rob the armored truck that was in front of it and ran over to campus trying to hide. The school went into lockdown for over 3 hours, seeing as how there was an armed criminal loose on school grounds. I was in the main building, so I wasn't really affected, but I know several people who were in classes in the portables, and a lot of them said that they could hear the guy furiously rattling the locked doors trying to find an unlocked one to hide in. Story 9. I went to a small Catholic middle school, so usually nothing ever happened. However, there were these two guys who hated each other and often fought. For the sake of privacy, they'll be called J and A. One day during lunch, A goes to the bathroom. He shits into a paper towel. He exits the bathroom and enters the cafeteria, shit-filled paper towel in hand. While everyone is eating, he walks up to J and hands him the paper towel. J soon realized what was in the paper towel and proceeded to scream as he threw the paper towel at a wall, causing the wall to splatter with shit. The reactions of everyone in the cafeteria ranged from shock to dying of laughter. Story 10. Last one. I live in a town with a heavy gang presence, and for about a 2-year period it seemed like every day there would be a fight. The worst one I remember was when I was about 12 or 13 and another school's rugby team had come to ours to face our team. A lot of the players on our team hated players on the other team, and all of them knew something was gonna go down. There were some vicious tackles that led to confrontations, but they were sorted out and the game continued. At the end of the game, both of the teams were lined up facing each other to shake each other's hand. It happened that one of the players on their team had a razor blade hidden in his sock, and when it came time to shake hands, he pulled out so that no one would shake his hand. One of the players on our team didn't realize and went to shake hands and cut his palm. He swung on the other player and turned into a huge fight as everyone on our team and their team jumped in, and even other students from our school and theirs were fighting. It was crazy. Teachers were tackling students to stop them. Some students from the other school straight up ran away. One of the teachers from our school that everyone respected came out, shouted, "Cut this shit out," and everyone stopped. The teachers that came with the other school rushed them onto their bus and got the fuck out of there.